bitches, I got money now. All a nigga understand is since that check came in, everybody talking like a nigga.
What's going on, y'all? I'm testing some new stuff here, so y'all bear with me. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me okay. What I wanted to talk about earlier, I was going to do it tomorrow, is the whole thing with David and Tamar. What I want to say about David is that I think that he is actually unstable. I knew that he was unstable from the time that he called 911, and the whole entire time on the 911 call, he is speaking about Tamar's well-being, speaking about the TV show. I did not want to judge him from that call, but I knew that something was wrong. It was very, very wrong. Okay. And I really feel like, shouldn't we be more concerned with Tamar? If I didn't say hello to everybody, hi Periscope and hi YouTube and Facebook. We should be concerned with Tamar's well-being right now. Because when I say this is dangerous for a man to come out and say this. And if he's not telling the truth about saying that she threatened to kill him and that he's doing a restraining order or domestic order or whatever he's doing against Tamar. And as a black woman, we are already painted in such a horrible light as angry, as somebody to attack you, somebody to do something wrong. So he literally is tarnishing her name right now. So I don't understand how we're not more concerned for her well-being. We see all these stories and shows about how a woman is in a situation and all of a sudden we find their body dead. I don't want to be like just morbid, but with the behavior, the erratic behavior that we have been seeing from him, we should be more concerned for her safety. I mean, she had this man around her child. I mean, she came out to everybody saying that she was in love with this man. And as I said before, we would not know who David even was if it had been for Tamar. And that's some real truth right there. Okay. So this is heavy, what I'm saying, but I'm being honest. Looking out for her well-being is more important because I feel like for him, he is a clout chaser. He is looking for that fame and fortune, and he is using Tamar to do it. And I hope that everybody does not believe everything that he's saying because why hasn't Vince come out and said, "Oh, hey guys, I've experienced the same thing with Tamar." That's why I feel like to me, this whole thing with David is nothing but a ploy and a storyline, just to get someone to look at it. If you read his statement that David actually made, he said, "I have stood by her side and spent my money and my time." So you're worried about the money you supposedly spent. But when it comes to Tamar, she was already Tamar Braxton before she met you. I feel like that a lot of men out here, they get with women, especially when they have more than they do. And more money, more clout, or fame or fortune, and try to exploit that. And, pretty much try to act like they're the one who built them. And I don't get that. How can you take all the credit from her by saying, I spent money and time? You've only been together for 2 years now? Maybe barely 2 years? You said you are an analyst, I think he said he was an analyst. So if you're into making money and stuff like that, this whole celebrity reality show is not your bag. I'm sure you guys will comment in the comments once the live drops. But it is my opinion about David that I feel like he, I mean, look, she says he's so fine and has done whatever for her, but she has not said at one time that he did anything for her career. She just plainly stated that she was in love with him and brought joy to her life. But ever since this 911 call, ever since everything that's happened here recently, he's the one that's speaking about. She hasn't come out and said anything. He's doing all the talking. So why is that? That's why I feel like it is so something in the water is not clean. The water is muddy, dirty. Something is not right with him, and I really feel like that he is a clout chaser. I really do. He wants that fame and fortune, and the issue that he has with Vince is what he's jealous of Vince. All Vince want to do is come drop off his son and be near his kid, and this guy is like, I don't want this man in my house. And then she's trying to uplift herself, change herself. I watched the very first little episode. And I'm not saying I believe in the hokey pokey stuff or whatever, but when she comes to him and says, I got 45 days of no sex, no drugs, no alcohol to get myself together, he got so upset behind that. I'm like, well, this is her life. You're not living her life. There are just a lot of clues that I think that we need to pay attention to. I just think that we should pay attention and be worried for her because this guy, to me, is very unstable, and this is getting to be a scary situation. I'm praying for him, but I really do think that we need to be more concerned for her well-being. We've had too many stories of black women being attacked and killed, and we find them somewhere, and everyone's like, "Oh, I couldn't believe that he would do that." So this is just my opinion, commission reviews, as always, that we really need to pay attention. Period. Period. Okay. I just watched this movie that real documentary story about the lady in Texas. You know, she was in the military. All she wanted to do was snitch. Well, not really snitch. She hadn't done anything. She was being sexually harassed at work. She told her mom about it and was like, I can't really say anything because I'm going to be retaliated. A lot of women are in the position where they feel they can't do anything. And I'm so over that. Where women feel like I can't say anything. I can't fight back. I'm just stuck. And then we find out about them later on in a newspaper in an obituary. I just wanted to speak on this real quick because it's like for me, hearing about this whole thing with him is driving me crazy. It's like something is cloud chasing, is unstable tease I'm getting from this man, and that we should be very worried about Tamar's safety. Because the fact that he's coming out saying all this stuff after all this time of, how you doing, Bright Star? After all this time, everything was so rosy, and now all of a sudden, all these problems. Hey, sister. Now all of a sudden, there are all these problems that he's saying that he's feeling, abused. She tried to hit him in the car and said that he that she threatened to kill him. And like I said, I know everybody's not going to agree with everything that I'm saying, but how many times have we heard these crazy stories? Have we not questioned or wondered why all of a sudden he is saying this? We haven't heard anything hardly from her. Tamar, who was the social media queen, tweet on Instagram Live or whatever, just started YouTube Live, who just to me wanted to have somebody to love. People are not going to admit this, but ever since Tamar and her dad, all the issues she had with him, she's always been trying to replace that love she wanted. And he is not it. Point blank, period. Bright Star says she seems very afraid that that's not her. You know, I thought about this all day, and I was like debating going back and forth. Should I come out and say this? You know what? I'm gonna come out and say it. This is gonna show on Periscope. It's gonna show on Twitter. This is gonna be on YouTube, Facebook. I'm gonna come out and say this. Something about this guy. Something about this guy is not right. Point blank. Period. And we need to be very concerned for her. I'm just tired of hearing about women who have been found, killed, abused, or whatever. And I'm just tired of hearing about it because I think that something more needs to happen. 2020 with all these different were marching for and everything else. I know she's a celebrity and I know she's a family around her, but he's very different and nothing wrong being different, but something seems like he wants to be all of her world. I don't think he probably wants a family around. He just wants to be just him and her, and then of course Logan, obviously. I really thought that he was Logan's dad. I'm serious. Something about this guy is very strange to me. So I got it off my chest. I said it because at first I was like, I'm not gonna get on here and talk about this because I really have not talked about this story that much, mostly because of the fact there's so many question marks about the story. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys still hear me? If you guys can still hear me, please drop in the chat. Drop in the chat that you can still hear me. The 911 call, yes, was very, very telling. Oh, you guys can hear me? Okay. Oh, okay. So yes, the 911 call was very, very telling. It really showed what to me that 911 call was weird. People call 911, they're distraught. They're trying to get they don't have their thoughts together. They're just quickly trying to get you out of here. That's it. The 911 call to me was very unusual because he was saying details that wasn't even per 911 call. Are you have 911 call is okay, somebody's passed out. Get here quickly. Yes, they're breathing. They're whatever. Just get here. That's all a 911 call is. It's not like, okay, well, they're having a hard time on the TV show and start crying and I can't believe, So that's my thoughts about the situation. I wanted to come through real quick to do a quick live about it.